Watch carefully, this man has gone mad. He kicked through a railing with one swift move and pried open a gap with brute force. Finally, he squeezed himself through the opening. Standing hundreds of meters above the ground, he regretted his decision once he calmed down. But the thought of going back only to face certain death made him resolute. The man stepped onto the 35th floor railing. He dared not act rashly. Each time, he ensured his hands had a firm grip before cautiously extending his foot. The most difficult part was navigating the smooth stone walls between floors, with no footholds to rely on. He could only grope his way downward using the strength of his arms. After an exhausting half hour, he miraculously reached the 31st floor. For a moment, he seemed to gain confidence. Dissatisfied with his slow progress, he began climbing down at a faster pace. That's when disaster struck. The man extended his foot, only to find that this floor had no railing. Panicked, he retracted his leg and used all his strength to avoid falling. Panting heavily, his heart pounding, he paused to calm himself. It was clear to him now, there was no going back. If he wanted to survive, he had to give it everything he had. Resolute, he unbuckled the belt from his waist and crouched down carefully. With no safety equipment, he began his daring high-altitude maneuver. The man tied his belt securely to the railing, fastening it tightly with the buckle. Gripping the belt with all his might, he gradually descended. Soon, he reached the bottom of the floor. Taking a deep breath, he let go, his body momentarily suspended in midair. Summoning all his strength, he swung back and forth until, in a split second, he managed to land his foot on a ledge. There was no time to celebrate. A new problem emerged. The floor he had reached had no balcony. To get inside, he needed to edge his way along the railing. He cautiously inched forward, his hands pressed firmly against the wall. As he reached a corner, a slight misstep nearly sent him plunging downward. After regaining his balance, he adjusted his pace and focused on moving step by step past the gap. Finally, after catching his breath, he knew success was near. He maintained his focus, carefully extending his right foot, then his left. Before long, he felt solid ground beneath him. Victory was in sight, but he held back his excitement. Reaching for the glass door, he tried to slide it open. No matter how hard he pushed, it wouldn't budge. He leaned against the wall and kicked the door with all his strength. After relentless effort, the glass door finally shattered under the force of his foot. Dragging his weary body to the doorway, he cautiously turned the handle. He was saved.